Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Now, conclusion with this debate, let's move forward on with it. First, I'd like to refute some of the second opposition's points. First, I'd like to draw on the fact that he claimed that we planned on shutting down hospitals and the removal of computers. And then he called us liars and fakes. We would just like to say, in no part of our speech did we ever bring up the fact of removing computers or hospitals. We think that's a foolish, foolish idea. He also talked about how computers allow for people to connect to various individuals. He also talked about how there's great potential in the economic world. And that's great. I completely agree with that. They do have that ability to do such a thing, but the debate isn't on whether or not computers are bad or good. It's whether or not they breed ignorance or not, or they have the opportunity to breed ignorance. Something that side opposition has continually avoided throughout their entire constructive arguments. Also, in the rebuttal of the first opposition speaker, he talked about how individual education was supported by by technological devices. We outside government, once again, completely, wholeheartedly agreed that you do have that ability to go on Wikipedia and learn about that event, or you do have that ability to go on Rosetta Stone, or do stuff like that. But once again, the topic today isn't on whether or not computers are truly bad or truly good. It's on whether or not they breed ignorance. And once again, throughout side opposition's entire constructive speech, they've given you two wonderful, I'll admit, wonderful speeches on why computers are good. And they're right. Computers are amazing things. We use them in our everyday lives. We use them in just about every single job we have. Yet at the same time, side opposition is completely ignorant of the fact that computers do have the ability to breed ignorance. He's also talked about why it makes lives easier. And once again, we agree with this. But as we've stated in our previous examples and our points, how it does have the opportunity to breed ignorance. He's also talked about the scientific importance some computers play a role in, and technological devices. And once again, I'd like to agree, they do. But they breed ignorance. And that's what the debate's on. Side opposition, once again, has completely missed the topic of the debate. It's not whether or not computers are bad or good. It's whether or not they breed ignorance. And no matter how much a finger snapping the opposition does to get our attention, we won't concede the fact that they breed ignorance. And for the reasons I have stated, which were how ignorance in the social world, and how they become disengaged from the true issues at hand. And for my partner's points of the ignorance of world issues and the true disengagement that you can face. For the reasons I have stated, and for the reasons side opposition has stated, the resolution before the House today must and will stand. Thank you.